Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone who's joined. You know, this is TechB's transformation series. Every Thursday, 5 o'clock sharp, we start. No matter the number of people in the room, we start because we respect those who have chosen to join early, but we know that people continue to join in the course of the talk. You know, this is brought to you by Eco Innovation Center, and the whole purpose is to support your entrepreneurial journey, whether it's in the setup, it's in the adaptation, it's in your pivoting, or it's in reaching that place where your business, you yourself and your business starts to thrive. Eco-innovation is with you all the way on this TechBiz platform. If you don't know, we also have a TechBiz Nation, a platform that runs on Telegram, and that's where we also engage. That's where we create further conversations. We stimulate our participants to talk about their experiences, share their experiences, because we know that we all learn from each other, and we learn from each other's experiences, whether it's the framework or the practicality of the framework. It happens within TechBiz Nation. So my team is going to be sharing the link into TechBiz Nation in the chat box. Please click on the link and you can join TechBiz Nation. But you know what TechBiz series is? We've had so many thought leaders, experts, entrepreneurs who have come on this platform to share with you the various parts of the spectrum of your entrepreneurial journey, whether it's you as a leader, your people management, your plans, your strategy, go-to-market strategy, commercialization strategy, sales strategy, marketing strategy, intellectual property, legal stuff. We've covered just about every single part of the spectrum of your entrepreneurial journey. But then again, our experiences will continue to differ. And that's why this platform continues to be important. And thank you, Tega. You shared a very good feedback with us earlier, where you said that you try as much as possible not to miss, because you learn so much and you're able to execute, and it makes the right impact in your life and in your business. That's the kind of testimonial that super encourages us to continue to do what we do. If you don't know me, my name is Doja Ikeriche. I host this program every Thursday, and it's an exciting one for me. I was just sharing, I've just started another business. It's a food business, and everything that I've learned on this webinar, even though I'm the host, everything that I've learned on this webinar, I'm starting to execute, and I'm also starting to see results. The power is in execution. So today we're going to be talking about mindset. Transform your mind, transform your business. You have heard it, they say, change your mind, change your business. Your mind is the rudder of your life. And this is all the more important for entrepreneurs. You know why? Because you as the entrepreneur, you as the one who started and who is leading the business, you define the mindset that runs through the organization. You define whether it's going to be performance-driven, whether it's going to be fear-driven, whatever mindset that you have, it reflects in your behaviors, it reflects in your speech, and it reflects in your reactions. And that's what your team as well, that's what they carry through. So if we have the right mindset, we would have the right, of course, exposure towards our teams, and it's believed that we will have the right results as well. I'm going to be introducing our speaker now, an amazing lady. I heard so much about her before today, and I have even also heard her speak on Clubhouse. If you're on Clubhouse, raise your hand. Yeah, those of us on Clubhouse. Omar, could you put on your video, please? Yeah. It's great to see you, Omar. Thank you for joining this. I cannot wait for you to guide us through this journey, because we know that our beliefs, our thought process is so critical. And when you look at our local context, the seeming challenges that we experience within our environment, somehow it is just ingrained for us to have limiting beliefs. I can't do this. I don't have enough money. Oh, this is only for people who have connection. I don't have enough experience. I don't have the capacity. Oh, I tried, I failed. I cannot do it again. But the quote from Henry Ford is my favorite. Whether you believe you can, or you believe you can't, you are correct. Omar, you're going to be sharing with us. First, let me say welcome.
Thank you for having me here. Very excited to be here. Hello, everyone.
Good. We're excited to. Everyone, please say hello to Omar in the chat box. It will be nice for us to welcome her the Tech Biz way. Omar is a life coach. She's also an NLP practitioner, that's a neuro-linguist practitioner. And Omar has coached many entrepreneurs, many career individuals. She is a part of Life Coaches Association of Nigeria. She's also an international board certified coach, which means she also coaches board members. She's the managing partner of GLG Communications. That's a company that helps other companies to build their public relations, their entire communication strategy and execution. She's the editor-in-chief of Glacier Magazine, and I've seen your new covers. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a fantastic magazine that it motivates. I mean, yes, it motivates, it drives, it even, builds it empowers. I think that really is the word. So well done, Omar. It's quite encouraging to see you thrive like this. Omar is also a TEDx speaker, which means that, she's been on the platform sharing her story, sharing her experience, that further fuels and further builds the whole entrepreneurship landscape. She's had a decade of working experience. She's helped individuals, she's helped organizations achieve their goals. And that's why today is so important. She impacts our mind. We are able to impact our businesses and, of course, achieve our goals. Isn't that correct, Omar?
That's true. That's
awesome.
True.
Awesome. So we're looking forward. I know you've been featured in so many newspapers. I read the most recent one. I know you've been featured in Guardian, This Day, Vanguard, Business Day, Association Press, Arise TV, Channels TV, PR Intelligence. You can go on and on and on. So we're excited that we have a celebrity on.
Celebrity. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you're a celeb. So we're excited you are on. The floor is yours. Please guide us through transforming our mindset and deleting those limiting beliefs.
Awesome. I'm just going to quickly set the timer so that we can, stick to the time. Yes, so thank you, everyone. I'm very excited to be here. I'd like to know where we are tuning in from. If we use the next 2 minutes to write in the chat, say your name and where you're dialing in from. I am Amaumi. I am dialing in from Lagos. You can put it there. I'd like to engage and see where we all joining in from. Please, I'll be reading through. Tega says, welcome, Omar. I'm so ready to be like you. Oh, you're going to be better, way better. Okay, Stuart Ezekiel says he's team lead at Avox Tech Hub in Port Harcourt. Amazing.
Hi, Stuart. Good to see you again.
Bright is from Delta State, the big art. Yay, that's my state, up Delta. Imed Young Amos is joining in from Anambra. Amazing stuff, Anambra. I went to school there. Awesome. Okay, keep dropping in the chat box. Abubakar Usman is from Mushin, and his website is www.smart.com. I love that. You just drop in your link and network right away. Abraham Confidence is dialing in from Lagos. Amazing stuff. Just a few more. Welcome. Oh, thank you, Ocheja Aishat, joining in from Lagos. Awesome. Yes, AVOX has his pen and, book set. Fantastic way to do it. As we want to start, I want to recommend that, no multitasking. I have found, when you are in webinars or conversations like this, because it's remote, we tend to want to do other things. Just give this time to yourself. The pandemic has shown us, now more than ever, that the best investment that you can ever make is in yourself. All the things that we bought, the clothes, the shoes, and all those things, we went on lockdown. You couldn't wear them, even your stock. People who had private jets at the time, you couldn't travel, we're all grounded. And what kept everyone was, what was inside of us, and so it's very critical to really focus on ourselves. Joy is joining in from Ilorin. Awesome. Thank you all. And so we're just, going to start. And I will be sharing my screen so that, we can have a great time. All right. So today, once again, you're welcome to the Transformation Series, Tech Beats Transformation Series. Very happy to be here. I love it. It says build, adapt, and thrive. Amazing stuff. And so I'm going to be talking about, transform your mind, transform your business. The mind is, is really the seat of power, is where everything happens, is where everything, grows or dies, It depends on how you have put your mind together. That is what will, happen for you. So I want us to really look at how we can transform our minds. Today, it's not like magic, it can't just happen now, but it's a conscious effort that we can take, just knowing that these are the things that I need to do. And you take that into the journey to help you so that once your mind is transformed, like Doja said at the beginning, it's all about that. And then it will show in your business, in everything, that concerns you, right? And so I want us to look at, a process. The process, there's 3 processes that I've put together. It says know, improve, and retain. So firstly, you need to understand your mind, understand how powerful your mind is, and get a clear picture of the power of the mind and why you need to leverage it in today's changing world. And then how can you improve your mind? Now that you know the power of the mind, what do you need to do to improve it? It's one thing to know that the mind is powerful. It's another thing to now do what will keep your mind. Yes, my mind is powerful, just like your health. Just like you have to eat to sustain, how do you feed your mind? How do you constantly renew your mind and improve your mind? You need to know that, right? And then, because from here, everything flows, you can now create a blueprint for your life, going forward for the rest of the year. This is the second quarter of 2021 that we're in. There's still time to do those things that you want to do. So how do you do that? How do you improve your mind? Then how do you become a master at creating the life you desire? To create the life you desire, you definitely need to leverage your mind, okay? And so it all begins from there, right? So these are the things that I want us to look at today, and I'm just going to breeze through. If you have questions for me, drop it in the Q&A section, and I will take as many as time allows, right? So next we will, look at this quote I wrote years back because of some things that I'd seen. I like to write a lot, and I want to recommend you can do that. I have an app called Evernote. I just sync it on all my devices, on all my phones and my tab, and everything. Let me tell you, if I don't put any strategy together again for the next 5 years, and I just implement the things I've written on that Evernote, trust me, I will be successful. So I wrote this from something that I'd seen, and I said, the greatest battles in personal and professional life are fought in the mind. It's not in Afghanistan, it's not in Syria, it's here, right? And if, with the pandemic and the whole COVID, we've seen that it is true, The mind is a battleground, and you need to be the winner there. You need to be the one in charge of it. You need to understand it, right? If you're not winning it, you're losing. So you need to take deliberate actions to ensure that you're using your mind well. The mind is the capacity is limitless. There's so many things that you can do, but you will never be able to do so if you don't know that your mind is capable of doing these things for you. When you take charge of your mind, you will transform your life. And when you transform your life, everything in your life, your business, your career, is just going to be transformed. So you need to look at it and see that, you see this mind, I need to protect it. I need to feed it. I need to, nurture it. I need to guard it, because you know that this place, if I lose it, I lose everything else, right? And, your mind can be your greatest asset. It can also be your greatest, liability, So we need to know that some things that are your weakness, when you do your SWOT analysis, sometimes for me, my mind I use my mind a lot. I'm able to just really use my mind to take charge. But that also means that my mind can also be a weakness for me. It's a strength, it's a huge strength for me, but it can also be a weakness. And knowing that, you are able to guard and protect it, right? So I just want you to understand this and know that everything I'm fighting in this life, everything I'm trying to be, everything I'm trying to achieve is here, okay? And, when you understand that, then you know that the best way, Abraham Lincoln said this quote, it's just amazing. He says the best way to predict your future is to create it. And when you know that, in your mind, you're able to understand that life is not happening to me. Life is happening because of me, right? Life is not happening to you. Life is happening because of you. If you want to, whatever it is you want to be in life, the best way to predict it is to create it, because you are a creator. When you understand that you are a creator, things begin to change. In Nigeria, we tend to really have this victim mindset. We're very entitled to things. My uncle is the chairman of so-and-so, and he doesn't want to give me a job. My business is not moving because Mr. A has not given me the contract, but you are a creator. Everything, my Instagram picture says, shut up and work, right? Just shut up and work, okay? Everything you need to achieve, everything you need to succeed is inside of you. When you have that mindset, we need to change. The biggest problem we have in Nigeria and in Africa is our mindset. That is the biggest. And so when we are able to transform our mindset, this is why we still have the incompetent leading us. So when we are able to transform our mindsets, then you stop seeing yourself as a victim. You will never move. You will never succeed when you keep seeing yourself as a victim, because you've outsourced your success. You've outsourced your growth, to somebody else. You're putting it in, they've not given me a job, right? Our village quota has not reached me. You're waiting for the village chief to give you one job or, something. Yes, I know we cannot achieve anything by ourselves, right? We need to, we need relationships, right? But when you approach it from a different point of view, not because you need this person who has made money to give you money or to create your life for you, will never move, because you're just there waiting for somebody to help you move. But when you see yourself and know that this thing I want, I can create, I can predict my own future by creating it, life begins to change for you. Your business begins to change, and it all starts from here, right? It all starts from your mind, right? So, but how can you create your future? I like this quote by Pablo Picasso. It says, our goals can only be reached through a vehicle of a plan in which we must fervently believe and upon which we must vigorously act. There's no other route to success, none whatsoever. I highlighted plan, believe, act, but I like to bring it like this: believe, plan, and act. So the belief is the first step. It's in your mind. Like Doja said at the beginning, said, if you think you can or you can't, you're absolutely right. I want you to tell yourself today and say, I am where I am because of me. the first step to growth. I am where I am today because of me, right? It's like I said, we need people, but you are the driver. You need to start to take the driver's seat of your life. That's that sheep that is called your life. You need to be at the seat. Who is driving your life? And someone called me, say, "Oh, I'm a failure, mommy. I'm a failure. There's nothing. I've not achieved anything. I am everything I've gotten is by mistake, is by luck." I'm like, okay, this job, how did you get it? Did you graduate from school? Did you do primary school? Did you do secondary? You did all these things. Who wrote for you? I did. So definitely you've achieved something. You're not a failure. Why do you think you're a failure? And we saw that it went back to his childhood, right? So, you know, everything, you must first start by believing. The first step to achieving, to improving your business, to transforming is by believing. Believe in yourself. The best thing that you can do for yourself as a person, as a business owner, is to give yourself a healthy dose of self-belief, self-confidence, self-worth, and self-esteem. Self-belief, self-confidence, self-worth, you know, and self-esteem. And when you have all these things together, it's a potpourri of success. You can now charge after your goals, chase after your goals, go after them and win it. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who will believe in you? Nobody. Even when people tell you, wow, Omami, great speech, you'll be like, really? Are you sure? Did I do it well? You're doubting yourself, right? So you need to start by believing in this thing that you're doing, that you have planned, and then put a plan in place and act. No matter how you believe in yourself, how you do, if you don't act on it, we're still going to come here and find you the same place, right? So let me tell you a little story about this guy. He, you know, at the Olympics at Rio, he was, you know, a 21-year-old. No, he was 21, I think it was 21. And but he wrote this thing. Look at what he wrote. I hope my swimming life continues and I become an Olympian when I grow up. I will break the world records. I want to be the best swimmer in the world. He was 8 years old when he wrote this thing. And he, you know, he drew a picture and he, you know, gave it to his parents at that time. Here, look at this picture is with his Olympic gold medal. He won 3 gold medals at the Olympics, right? And he did create a record. He did create a record, okay? Broke a record, created a record. All these things he wrote at 8 years old, right? How do you create? This is Ryan Murphy. He was 21 when he achieved his 8-year-old goal, right? He wrote all these things and then drew a picture and he was specific. He said an Olympian. He didn't say I want to be a swim. No, he said, so I want to be, you know, going back and forth with these 2 slides, right? So how do you now predict your future? You can predict your future by, you know, setting goals. And I put SMART. We know the SMART goals, but I put double R, right? Because of where we are now. The COVID has changed our world, whether we like it or not. So whatever you're doing, you need to check, is it relevant for me? Is it relevant for my client, for my target audience? So you need to look at this guy. He set a specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, relevant, and time-bound. He said he wanted to be an Olympian. And then he said that he wants to win, you know, he wants to break records. It was very specific. He wants to break records. And then he was audacious. He didn't say he wants to be a swimmer in his community, in his street. No. He said he wants to be an Olympian. To be an Olympian means you're competing at world level, right? So you need to, and for you to be able to write an audacious goal, it means you've really taken charge of your mind, right? So you need to really first believe in yourself and know that I can do this. Look at the founders of Google that we enjoyed today. They said they wanted to organize the world's information. At this time they wrote this thing, there were students at Stanford University. They didn't say they want to organize Stanford University's information or the city or America. They said the world. And today that is what they're doing. right? How old is Google? You know, that's what they're doing today. So you need to be able to set audacious goals, right? And let it be positive. Another way to take charge of your mind is the kinds of things you think and the kinds of things you say. Oftentimes we're defeating ourselves by the words that we say and by the things that we think. You feel like you're not saying it out, so nothing, no, the damage is being done. As a man thinks, so is he, right? All the things, you're putting it into the universe. You're putting the word. So don't say, this year, I don't want to lose any client, or with this COVID now, people are losing business. Maybe I will not be able to pay complete salary to my staff. Or you're already negative, right? Instead, why don't you flip it around and be positive and say, I'm thankful that I retained all my clients in 2021. And I get new clients. I'm able to pay, everything. Every time your mind is bringing you, studies have shown that, we're thinking mostly negative thoughts in our head. Scientific studies have shown that. So there is a background, noise happening in your mind. You need to be conscious. If you're not intentional, you will lose it. You need to be conscious to know that immediately a negative thought comes, flip it around and use the positive one, right? And then write things down. I've just told you how I write a lot. I can teach a whole course from just the things that I write, right? So you need to be writing the things you want to achieve. If you don't write it down, it's a wish, it's a mere wish. And wishes were horses, you know what they say, right? So put it holistic goals. As human beings, there's more to you, right? There's different aspects of our lives. There's the you as a person, there's your business, there's finances, there's your health and wellness, there's your achievements, there's your self-esteem, there is your relationships, there's home and family. All these things make you a complete human being. And when you don't look at your life like this in a 360-degree spectrum, you tend to have a very disproportional life, okay? So things are not, and you find that when you have struggles in life, it affects your business. It affects your business, affects how you are, your output, your productivity. And so you want to ensure that, once again, I go back to COVID and the pandemic and what it's shown us, that there's more to life than just, work, or one part. So you need to ensure that you're living a 360 holistic life. Every part of you, even when this COVID started, and I told myself, most people who were really affected, they were very isolated. They didn't have people, I was like, I'm going to network more. I attended many virtual events and I was meeting people, sending my LinkedIn profile and connecting with people. I was having Zoom calls with people from America who would talk and just get to know people. And you'll be shocked at the kinds of opportunities that you will get when you put yourself out there. Nobody's saying, wear yourself thin. You need to be able to know where to draw the line, and be more, but put yourself out there, live a holistic life, for your business, right? And then after everything, follow it up with action. I've said it, if you don't do that, you train your mind by taking action, believing in yourself, stepping out in self-belief, in self-confidence, in faith, in hope, right? So that you train it just like a muscle. You're running today, you can do 5 miles, next tomorrow 10 miles, just like that. You need to be training your mind and be expanding your muscle. Train the muscle of your mind. Like take your mind to a mind gym, right? And just be expanding it. Okay. Now, right. The biggest wall you will have to climb is the one that you build in your mind. Never let your mind talk you out of your dreams, right? Trick you into giving up. Never let your mind become the greatest obstacle to your success. To get your mind on the right track, the rest will follow. It's just that simple. Again, your mind can be your biggest attribute, your biggest asset. It can also be your biggest liability. So when you know that I tend to say negative, disempowering things, flip it aside, okay? Flip it. When it comes, you need to go say the positive thing. If you're like, no money, no business, can I even, how do I get this? Can I get this client? I'm grateful that I'm getting the client that I want, okay? Write it down, put it somewhere that you can see, really use your mind to your advantage, right? Don't be telling yourself some of these negative things. And if you are putting it out there, no wonder you're seeing it. Partner with the universe to bring the things you want to life, okay? You'll be surprised. Let me tell you something. The subconscious mind, which is, we are mostly living out of our subconscious mind, most of it, right? The subconscious mind does not understand imagination and reality. You can trick your mind to bring things to pass. It's just like, I don't know, when you say it, right? When you put it out there, when you believe it, when you imagine it, it's just like some things have just been set in motion. Everything will just be working to make it happen. And you'll be like, wow, I used to say I wanted to own this when I was a child, and today I have it. I don't know if anybody has had that sort of experience, That is it, right? You can drop it in the comments, if you have had, some of those experiences, right? You can say, yes, you have that, okay? And you see that, wow, it's true. If I tell you today, I'm going to give you 10,000 naira, the way you'll be happy is the way you'll be happy if I put the money in your hand as well, because you just feel like, wow, oh, mom is going to give me 10,000 naira, right? But you don't have it, but you're happy, right? And you can just trick yourself, trick your mind into working for you. How do you improve your mind? I want to just quickly go, World Economic Forum, said these are the 10 skills that we need to thrive in today's world, especially, with the whole things that have happened now. The world is now more focused, more Fortune 500 companies, more businesses are now focused on not just your education, they're focused on your skills, right? So you need to build skills. These 10 skills are critical to thriving, to succeeding, to surviving in today's world. The disruption is not going to stop just now. Disruption is going to keep continuing. But when you have all the skills, you'll be one step ahead. You'll be able to anticipate change. You'll be able to be a modern leader. You'll be able to really thrive in business and serve your clients well, your customers better, right? Innovation is really about making things easy, okay? Complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management, coordinating with others, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, service orientation, negotiation, and what? Cognitive, if we look at all of these things that I've listed here, right? All of these things that I've listed here, what is the one thing that puts them all together? All of these things, one common thing. If you know, just write it in the comments. One common thing here, something common with every skill that has been listed here. Something common here. All these skills. Critical thinking, creativity, people management, coordinating with others, emotional intelligence, judgment, mind, Abubakar, yes, the mind is the common thing here, right? All of it is the common thing. The mind is the common denomination here. So you see that to succeed in today's world, whether as a career person, a career professional, a student, or a business owner, you need to build your mind, to succeed in today's world. All of it, exactly, they all stem from the mind. And now I want to focus on something that is also very, like a common factor here, emotional intelligence. Right? We all have heard of emotional intelligence, so I'm not even going to define it for us. But emotional intelligence is your secret weapon for success in life. and in career. It is in everything. When you're able to control your emotions and that of others, because you have emotional intelligence, you're able to predict the way your clients are thinking. You're able to follow, you're able to hear some of the things that they're not saying. When you're talking with them and they're complaining a certain way, you're able to anticipate and say, okay, this is how we should do it. You're able to know that emotion is power. Every time you lose your emotions, you lose your power, right? And it's in your mind. It's in the seat of your mind. And you're able to use it to your advantage, right? So sometimes, you're thinking, then you're anticipating and you're calculating. You know that this is how I want to react, right? And you're able to be in control. Okay, and it's not something that you're born with. It's not like, oh, God didn't give it to me. You have it. You can learn. You can train your mind. You can train your emotional intelligence. Studies show that 85 to 87% of success, all success in life, in anything you want to do, stem from emotional intelligence, not IQ, but EQ, right? So you need to go and develop your emotional intelligence, build your mind by that. And if you cannot control your mind, if you cannot control your emotions, you cannot control your money. Warren Buffett is, one of the world's richest men, and he has been for so many years before you and I were born, right? So definitely that every time you're losing your emotions, you're losing your power. And most times, check it, you're losing your money. You're losing your business, okay? It's all in the mind, right? And now, these are some quotes. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on the one string we have, and that is what? Our attitude, right? I am convinced that life is what? It happens to me 90% of how I react to it, right? 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react. Look at the whole thing, this whole COVID and everything that keeps happening to us. You can't control, but you can take charge of how you react. And that is through your emotional intelligence, through your mind, okay? You are in charge. Every time you want to go astray, I am in charge. Bring yourself back to order. Rein yourself in. If you're going to be saying negative things, or if you're going to just, get upset and lose it, just tell yourself, I am in charge. Breathe in, breathe out, and say, I am in charge, and help yourself. Remember, you are driving your life, okay? So how do you create the life and business of your dreams? Leveraging the mind. Oprah Winfrey said, this is our number one thing. She says this is the thing that has helped her to succeed in life. Intention rules every outcome. Your intention. So how? Every day you wake up, life gives us, that's why I put a blank page and a pen. Every day gives us an opportunity to start all over again. Every week gives us an opportunity. Every month, every year. So, every time gives us an opportunity to start all over again, right? So intention rules every outcome. I need you to be deliberate, more deliberate in the things that you do in your life, right? And that comes from your mind. You're able to think, what do I want to achieve today? What are the things I want to see now, right? And you put it down. You're able to be intentional, right? Set your intentions. Jim Carrey wrote a check to himself, $10 million. He wrote a check to himself in 1986, I think. And then he dated it in 1994. He gave himself 10 years to achieve, to be paid 10 million. Let me tell you something. Any check, any amount you've not been able to write in your mind, you cannot cash it. And you're sabotaging yourself every time. So sometimes you've called for the client and say, okay, how much are you going to do this job? And you say, okay, it's 300,000. But then you say yourself, hey, but you can give me 100,000, shall? It's because your mind could not carry it. You don't believe that you should be able to get 300K, right? And so you quickly, your mind, it just shows up. But you need to train yourself to believe in these things. He wrote this check and gave himself 10 years. And on that 10th year, during November 1994, he got a job, Dumba and Dumba, to play in the movie Dumba and Dumba. And his fee was $10 million. He wrote the check and was carrying that check in his pocket, right? It's the power of the mind. He gave himself 10 years back to setting goals that are specific, time-bound, measurable. How do you know that you've achieved it? How do you know that your mind, what would happen? What will you see to know that, okay, I have built my mind up, right? So these are the things you need to do. And I want us to be able to do some assignments, to do something, because I believe that when you write things down, when you take, do an assignment, it helps you, right? So let's quickly just, do this, wrap up in the next 5 minutes. Write your vision statement. You may not be able to write it now, but I want you to have the skeleton, together. A vision statement really describes what you desire to achieve in long term, mid-term, it's really that it keeps you going. So even when things like now, maybe you're not able to achieve all this, but you know that in fact, I said that in 2025, this is who I want to be. It just helps you keep your vision alive, and it fuels your passion, helps you to go forward, right? So how do you write your vision statement? Do you have a vision statement? Quickly put in the chat box if you do have a vision statement. If you have a vision statement that is written down, write it and say yes. If you have a vision statement that is written down, write it and say yes. If you don't have, say no. Quickly, let's do that next. Oh, it says, okay, Doja has, so yes. Yes, who has a vision statement? If you have, if you don't have, it's okay. So no, awesome. So that is it. You need a vision statement, a personal vision statement, your business vision statement. It could be the business that is driving you're using it to go. So you need to write it down. If it's not written down, you have not, really started. Write it down. When you write it down, you find that you achieve it faster when you've written it down, because your subconscious, there's a science to it. Your subconscious is pushing you. You've written it down. You've put pen to paper. It's pushing you to go and achieve it. You're working towards it, right? Good. So you dream big. Use this, and I'm sure they're going to, share some of these things with you. Ensure that it's clear. It's very easy. It's concise, simple. Keep everything so simple, right? Keep it so simple. And use that, right? Infuse it with passion. When you read it, you're inspired. Look at, I put some examples of some vision statements. Amazon says to be Earth's most customer-centric company, where customers can find and discover anything they might want online. Are they doing that now? Yes, they are. Hilton says to fill the earth with light, right? And what with hospitality, right? That is what they're doing, Hilton Hotels, right? GLG Communications said to be at the fore of PR and communications in Africa, focused on providing communication solutions that create bigger and better brands. And that is what drives us. We're looking, this is the thing, your vision should drive you. LinkedIn says, create economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce. And that's what they're doing. So you need to do yours as well. Use the guide that I've put there and write your vision statement. Now, here's what I want us to do, right? Get your pen and paper. The power of I am. And this is a mind exercise. This is a mind massaging exercise, okay? Write a 10-line poem using it should all begin with I am. Everything you put after I am, right? It works for you. I want you to write it down, okay? And then when we're done, write it well, place it where you see it every day, and read it every morning and every evening. When you're feeling down, go and read it. So it could be the things you want to achieve this year or in 5 years' time. You need to put it there and say, I am the founder of a multi-million-dollar company. I am a mother of 2 children. I am the, Nigerians #1, so and so. I am an award-winning. So let's write that down quickly. Write it down. If you want to post yours in the chat box, please do that. I would like for someone to also, be able to read this to, me as well. So let's write that down. 10 things. I am this, I am that, I am. Right? Even God says, I am that I am. You know, he called it and so it is. Right? You need to speak. You are a creator, co-creator. You're not a victim. Everything is happening because of you, because of who you are, because of the people you're surrounded with, because of the things that you think, because of the things that's in your mind. Okay, so do that quickly. Let's do that now. I want to read yours. Okay, I am so and so. If you're done, put it there and tell me you want to read it out, and you can unmute and read it, right? You can unmute, right?
Yes, I mean, you can raise your hand on
Okay.
Zoom, and then we can unmute you ever so quickly. I think, Omar, fantastic. The passion is just dripping, right? And thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you for sharing different stories, and actually, you know, helping us visualize what you're talking about. It's just really mind changing. And the thing is, a lot of these things, we've heard them before. We said, oh no, your mind is a powerhouse and this and that. But then again, we are still stuck somewhere, somehow. You know, these thoughts somehow, they still come and they still seem to hold us down. One of the questions that, you know, people have consistently asked of me is, you know, how can an entrepreneur conquer the fear of failure, especially if you failed before, right? How do you get over that to stand up and still approach life and still approach the next venture with the right level of enthusiasm, the zeal, and the enablement that goes with, you know, making this happen?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So number one is the things you fear. Because fear is, I like the way Lara Lushala explained it. It says, you know, fear and faith are two sides of a coin. So the things you fear, you know, fear is faith in the negative. So when you are afraid, you have negative faith. And then when you are, you know, you believe, you have faith, you have positive faith. So why waste your belief? This is what I mean. Stop being afraid. And failure is, if you, the way you conquer it is flipping your perspective. The way you see a problem is actually the problem. If you feel, oh, it's not failure, it's a learning moment for me. You have flipped the perspective. You know, the truth is, there is not so much to learn from success. Success is good, no doubt. We're all happy to succeed. But failure is what actually gives you a fresh perspective and gives you knowledge. And you're like, oh, wow. Even me, you know, in business, 2019, I had like, you know, something really solid shook me happened, right? I have not really experienced failures, a lot of it in my business, right? But the ones that I've experienced, the lessons learned were very critical. So you look at it and, oh, it's just a learning moment for me. I've not failed. I'm only learning. If you don't learn, that's where you fail. And let me tell you, you have not failed until you quit. As long as you haven't quit, as long as you haven't stopped, you've not failed, right? Yes. So failure just shows you, okay, this is how to do it. This is how not to do it. This is what I should do next, right? So you just take notes, go back into yourself, take notes and see that, okay, this is how not to do it. It's just feedback.
I love it. You're absolutely correct. It didn't work this way. I should try again. But I like what you say, which is, it is about how I see the problem, right? Yes. Which is permits me to reference something in scripture, and where Joshua, Caleb, and the other 10 guys, who we don't know their names, went spying, and then they said we were like grasshoppers in our own eyes. So they themselves saw themselves as grasshoppers. So it's really about how we see ourselves, how we see the situation, how we interpret the situation. Another thing that I'm referencing on the basis of what you said about fear and faith. it's the story of two different children and how they both grow in a with drug addict parents who are violent and this and that. And one ends up exactly the same way as the parents. The other one ends up being a senator or a leader of a company, and right?
Yeah.
So how are you thriving? How are you living? Is it because of or in spite of? Because one can say it's because of what happened to me. And the other one can say, I succeeded in spite of what happened to me. Which one would we rather be? So it's about feeding our faith and not our fear. I'm waiting for other people to post their questions. Oma, are you there? Is it my network or it's Oma's network? Can you hear me, please? Okay, all right. Thank you, Jimson. That was quite quick of you. I'm starting to wonder what's going on. Okay, I'm sure Oma will join us again. It will be really exciting if you could just post your questions or your I am statements. What is it that you are targeting to be in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Tega, wow, this is amazing. Tega says, I am blessed to be a blessing. I am an innovator. I am an exemplary leader. I am a positive guide. I'm a life coach. I'm a mentor. I'm a light. I'm a goal-getter. I'm a trailblazer. I'm a pace setter. I'm a developer. I'm a process improvement person. I'm a volunteer service giver. Thank you so much, Tega. I'm sure Oma will have something to say about that and how even that, as powerful as it is, it can be enhanced on the basis of what she had indicated to us previously on setting our goals, setting our visions smart. And
Yes.
Oma, are you there already?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but we cannot see you. Can you see?
You can't see me?
No, cannot see you.
Uh-oh, but my video is showing. That's strange.
Okay, please go ahead. Don't bother. Maybe it's me.
Let me. Okay, maybe I go. Can I? No, I can go out and come back.
It's okay. I see you.
Can everybody see me? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, someone says, as an entrepreneur, what do you do when the Nigerian economy is not favorable to your business? Sheol, I'm going to ask, yes, the Nigerian environment is not, is one that is not very enabling, right? But there are people who are succeeding. There are people who are thriving. So every time you need to look at it and ask yourself, is my business providing a solution? Let me tell you something. Once you're providing a solution to people, just find the problem and be providing a solution. Regardless of the economy, you'll be fine. In this COVID time that we're all in lockdown, there's some businesses who made more money than they've ever made before. Why? Because they were providing a solution. Let your business, it's not just, oh, what I want to do, right? It should be, where is the need? Something you're passionate about, but also find the people who need that solution that you have, okay? And let it be, that. So you need to listen to the data that you're getting. Data could be that people are not, they don't like this thing that you're doing, or you're talking to the wrong people, so you want to go back and check and measure. And what is not being measured, doesn't really get done. So you need to keep going back, measure, and, iterate, and just, keep fine tuning till you get the best, okay? I'm a business, and let me yes, you want to say, no, say what you want.
Go ahead, I thought you were finished.
It's fine.
Okay. I was going to say that's absolutely spot on, and there's no wonder why you're an expert in this field. Thank you for that response, which is about solving problems. A lot of the times, we as Nigerians, naturally, because maybe I was born, bred in the West, I moved to Lagos, and that's it. So now I'm in Lagos, and Lagos is where I must provide my service. I have seen in other parts of the world. I mean, I worked in South Africa for a number of years, and you just see people pack up from Johannesburg and say, listen, my service or my concept is going to work well in Polokwane, and they just move there. That's it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so sometimes we're so fixated on Lagos. No, Lagos is where the money is. Lagos is where people can afford this solution. And we're all climbing on top of each other's heads on Lagos.
Yeah.
One problem is being solved by 1 million people, where maybe just down the road in Akure, the need exists, and there are limited people who are solving the problem. So there's the geographic opportunity which we have to identify on top of the solving of existing problems. But one thing to also mention, we're 200 million people. 200 million. That is so many countries put together in one. Economy will always be the economy. If you ask 10 years ago, what were people saying about the economy 10 years ago?
It wasn't good.
5 years ago, it wasn't good. It's almost likely, I'm not cursing, most likely 5 years to come, we'll probably be singing the same song. But there are businesses that are succeeding because they have found a niche, they have found a space to operate, and they have found a customer base. Find yours.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, that's amazing. I like that. It says find yours. And then somebody says, someone says, I am a business owner of a $10 million business monthly. Amazing stuff. That's, I don't know.
That's the person's I am. That's the person's I am.
Yes, I know that's the person's I am, right? Okay, I understand that. So also with your I am, while you're being audacious, there is also the realistic part of it as well, right? So if you've never made, say, $5,000, for example, in a month, and you put 10 million, it's not that you can't dream big, it's not realistic, okay? So I'm not saying this person's own is not, I don't know what the person does. I'm sure it's, that way. I'm just speaking generally now to all of us, So there is that, because sometimes when you're not, being that, you find that you're sabotaging yourself, because sometimes even you've said it, but your mind is not, it's not carrying it, or you're not able to work towards that. And in the end, you're seeing that, oh, I didn't achieve my goals again, or, so we want to be able to do that. And speaking of, also back to the person who says, economy is not favorable, you need to be positive. People are thriving, people are making money. So you need to see that everything is working for you. When you feel like it's not favorable, say it's favorable, right? And let it be that way for you. Position your mind. Because the moment you start thinking it's not favorable for you, right? It's not, it's just going to be that way. Okay. Anybody else has a question, or does you have a question for me?
But if anyone else, please post your questions. Please, it's quite an insightful session that you're having, Omar, and I like that you're being real. I like the authenticity of it. We really appreciate it as well. Friends, please post in your questions. And, this is such a great opportunity for us to be able to tap into your coaching knowledge without having to pay for it, but we really value it, no doubt about it. I think there's one more thing that I want to just come from, to raise from the previous questions that we have had, which is, listen, in this local environment that we're at, and we're talking about, mindsets, changing our minds, transforming our minds, and the rest. And you have a lot of baggage that you carry, maybe from family, employees, these people just not delivering on their commitments to you, which consistently disappoints you, and possibly at the end of the day leaves you highly discouraged. So in those kinds of situations that you find yourself, how do you elevate your mind? How do you elevate your thinking? How do you bring yourself from a place of discouragement to a place of empowerment?
Yeah, great question. that is another reason why you need to have a vision statement written down, because have a vision statement that has said this is what you want to be. So for example, when I feel like, oh, this is not looking good for me, I can write and say, I've written there and say we are so pioneer in Africa and blah blah blah. You go back and look at your vision statement, right? And I really would encourage everyone, from your vision statement, you're able to write a blueprint, sort of like, that guides you for that year, the things you want to achieve. So it helps, because the sharpest mind, no matter how bright you think you are, even the dullest pen is still sharper than that thing. So you need to write down, and you go back and read it and energize yourself, remember. And also you can remember some of those things that you've achieved, right? And use it and remind yourself and say, just as I was able to, do this, start my business, so will I be able to do so and so. Again, you also do not want to give your power to people. Why do you get disappointed? It's because you have put so much expectation on someone else, right? You want to try to remove that factor whereby it's 100% dependent on this person for your goal to be achieved. Your goal, you should be, the person who is in the driver's seat to achieve your goal. So when you see that, okay, these people are disappointed, you want to find another way, right? You have a vision, you have a place you want to go, right? That DNA may not be changed. However, the way you go and approach it should change. The most flexible people are the most successful. You don't want to be rigid. You want to be flexible. This didn't work out. Okay, maybe I should approach it this way. This person didn't do this for me. Maybe I should. And when they tell you no, or they disappoint you, right? No is an answer. Don't take it too personal, right? Don't take it too personal. Don't be so entitled, Find another way. Go back to them. Let me tell you, in this magazine that when we were going to launch it, I wrote to someone, I said, come and, partner with us for the launch. These are the things, this is the amount we want to spend. I put a thing, this person is a good friend of mine. And I said, write a proposal, do something. We put it together, sent to him. And I was like, was questioning, what do you want to do? What, and blah, 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 I answered. And if they came back and said, okay, I'll think about it. I'm not sure I want to do this. I went back again and said, okay, this is what we want. You listen, take the data, go back, measure, and come back, Don't be discouraged. Even if they tell you no, you can give it another time, find what it is that you didn't do right or whatever, go back, okay? Don't be persistent, be resilient, and keep, one day the no will turn to yes, okay? And there's this quote that Christiana said, I really love. It said, when somebody tells you no, means that you're talking to the wrong person. Find the right person that would, that will become yes. Find the person whose yes would, be it. And it could be, you go back again and again. It's okay. Don't take it personal. Why we get discouraged? Because we take it personal. You have been entitled to it. You feel like they must tell me yes. So it's okay. What did I not do right? Why didn't they tell me yes? Okay, you question it. Find a way. If it's not working, go meet another person. Okay, it's not your fault. Try to get your answer. Don't be discouraged.
Thank you so much, Uma. Thank you for all those value bombs that you've been dropping. You did say that the mind is the seat of power. The mind is the rudder of your ship. You use it to steer your beliefs, your thought processes, your ways of viewing your world. That's going to drive your entrepreneurial behavior. And your entrepreneurial behavior is also what's going to drive the rest of your team, is also how your team is going to behave. You talked about believe, plan, act, BPA. Believe, plan, and then you act. Extremely critical. One cannot work without the other. You plan without believing, then it's going to be a shallow plan. You plan, you believe, you don't act, then of course everything falls like a pack of cards. Please, if you don't remember anything, BPA, that's what Omar said. Believe, plan, and act. And somebody asked about failure. Another person even asked in the chat box about failure. And Omar says, listen, it is feedback. Listen, it is a path. You have learned how not to do it the next time. You cannot stay down. You have to get up and try again. You did say that, the fear, when you have fear, it's on the exact opposite side of faith. You cannot, have faith and be fearful at the same time. So you have to feed one, and the better one to feed will be your faith, because in any case, you're going to have to believe something. Why waste it in fearing when you can fuel it in believing? The last one I remember you said, don't give your power away to others. Don't give your power away to the economy, to people, to whatever. The power, the control is with you as a person. I am. You are the I am. So keep reminding yourself who you are, the I am that you are, and make sure you bring that positivity into it. It's not I don't want to lose my customers. It is that I am retaining my customers and bringing in new ones this year. That's the thought process. Omar, so many nuggets. I could go on and on regurgitating the things that you have said. We want to say a big thank you. I hope we've taken all the questions that everyone has asked, either in the chat box.
I was asking about depression. Says, what can you say to entrepreneurs who are depressed because of past failure? Yeah, I think we've talked about the past failure. Don't see it as failure. Change your perspective. Everything that we are going through in life, right? Every single thing, even plus physical thing. Let me tell you, even when I'm in pains, like serious pain, right? I just tune it out of my mind and I stop feeling, I don't know. It's you train your mind to that extent. And that BPA that Doja was talking about, the A in there is the way you also build muscle in your mind. So when you're taking action, you keep doing all these things, you're building muscles, okay? So whenever you're feeling down, whenever it feels like things are not going, that is when you become your own coach. You use the I am statement. You find that you feel energized. That thing that you're feeling like, oh, you're feeling down, just keep saying it. I am a successful person. I am the owner of a $10 million business, like Eukaria said. I am a successful agropreneur. I am, that. If you want to launch something, I am the editor-in-chief of a successful magazine. I am the this, just say it to, even when you're washing your hands, these 20 seconds of washing your hands during COVID, don't waste it. Use it, build your mind muscle by saying all these things, okay? And you start believing it and it becomes a part of you. Nobody, we learn these things. It's not like it was, you must be born with it, okay? You can learn it and it becomes, second nature to you.
Okay, I was just about to wrap up and then I saw Tega's hand up. Tega, 2 seconds, please. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I wanted to type, but I didn't have the time to do that. I want to thank you, Omar and Doja, for being my Delta Connect. And I want to say you really blew my mind by your presentation. Please, I just want to say I have this issue. Right now, I'm a civil servant, and there are restrictions that will not allow me go into business full time. But some have been gathering, knowledge from this platform and other clients that has been helping me in what I do right now as a civil servant, and then playing a supportive role in my family business. But these ideas I have, you having an idea is quite different from another person running that idea for you. And so that is the challenge I'm having. I have this idea, knowledge, skill I gather from this platform, and I like to transform, to where I'm playing that supportive role, where I cannot really go in fully the family business. And they don't just get it, and I feel so pained. So is it okay? Is there a way I can make them run this idea or this skill that I have the way I have it? Or is it okay for me to just wait? Because I'm really waiting until I hit this platform, to launch out fully. Thank you very much.
Great question. Number one, you need to decide, right? I wouldn't say wait. Let me tell you something. The COVID has taken us 10 years faster than we were going. So every business owner, I can tell you one thing you don't want to play with going forward is speed. Speed. If you don't, you need to, because consumer behavior is changing so fast, and you need to be changing with it. You cannot really play with speed. So if you have this idea and you want to wait, by the time you see somebody else executing your idea, okay? Have you not noticed sometimes you think of something and somebody has the exact same idea and you're like, but I don't know this person, we didn't talk, right? So, and as a communicator, communication is a circle, okay? So every time, sometimes when people don't understand the things I've told them, I want to go back and say, how did I explain it? So you want to check, is it that you've not been able to give it to these people such that they're able to implement it the way it should be? So look at your method of communication again, okay? And find out, how do these people understand? How do these people get me? How do I speak to them in their language? If I understand Yoruba only and you're speaking English, yes, you're saying something right, but I can't hear you and you've not communicated. So you want to go back and question how you've been telling these people and what else can you do? How else can I make it happen? Then you want to ask yourself the ultimate question. Do I think that giving up my civil servant job is where I should be? Do I want to start now and say, 5 years time, I'm going to go fully into this business? You need to set a plan for yourself, right? And create a path that you want to follow. So go back, look at the communication and ensure that you've really passed the message well, they understand you. If not, question it and find a way to get them to get it, okay? And then how else can you support such that they get it and are able to do it, okay? Next is, what's my plan for my life, for my career path, okay? Do I want to start a plan and say in 5 years time, in 10 months time, whatever, this is how I would do it. So put all these things in place and you see, but do not keep the idea and wait. Somebody else is going to execute it, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Omar. I mean, people are appreciating the feedback, appreciating the value that you shared with us today. Eukiria says, thank you for your guidance. Ocheja, thank you so much. Amos says the same thing. Odochi says the same thing. Abraham, everyone is quite appreciative, and we at the Co-Innovation Center highly appreciative of you for sharing with us your knowledge today, your stories, and also your experiences. Guys, thank you very much. Please put into the chat box. I appreciate Omar for doing this for us, for sharing with us. Her hour is a very expensive hour, and she brought it to the Co-Innovation Center community for free, and we appreciate you. If you don't know where you will find the content, the video and her presentation will be available on www.ecoicenter.com/webinar. We're here every Thursday. Next Thursday, we're going to be talking about getting the best out of your people. We entrepreneurs, we know how to complain about our employees. We know how to complain, but the question is, are we managing them right? Are we creating the right culture? Are we creating the right mindset within our organization? And if we have, how do we use those to get the best out of them? That's what we're going to be learning next week. Omar, any last words for us?
Last words is, back to the mind. Your mind is more powerful. There is nothing, no limits. The only limits are the ones that you've placed on your mind. I'm telling you, up to physical things, you can train your mind to really put everything, to do everything, that you want it to do, okay? So know that there are no limits. Everything that you need to succeed, you have it. You now need to leverage your mind to bring it all to reality. Thank you very much.
Maumi, where can we find you? Instagram handle, where can we find you, please? Maumi,
okay.
We want to know.
Awesome. On LinkedIn, I am Omaumi Ogbe. Let me see if I can just quickly pull my LinkedIn, link here.
Thank you.
And then on Instagram, I am Omaumi O, right? And my Omaumi, there's no N in it. And on Twitter, I mean, if you put Omaumi everywhere, you would see me. On Twitter, I am Omaini, but just put Omaumi and you will see me there as well. Okay. Let me drop that now in the chat.
All right, great. So it's Omaumi without an N.
Yes, please. Without the N, without the O. This is my LinkedIn and Twitter.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you all so much.
All right, friends, click on the link and we can get in touch with Omaumi. And should you want personal coaching sessions with her as well, please reach out to her to get that. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you again and again and again, Omaumi. Looking forward to consistently networking with you within our platform and with our community. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Please stay safe and join us again next week. God bless. Bye.